You hope they get into that aggressive keep stones around.
They do, but you see they're coming into the house this end. And, you know, last end they did throw a couple of guards and a couple rocks at the top of the 12-foot. And, you know, they were really in a situation where if Hasselborg or McManus or Knockenauer can make any one of those come-arounds around that staggered middle that they had last end, they were in it for 2 or 3 points, and not much they could have done about it. So those are 2 perfect rocks to start the end for RCF. Top 4, top button, perfectly in line. You know, and now they're going to start to peel some corner guards once they have the opportunity after the next rock comes to rest. Obviously can't hit either one of these corner guards now in the 5-rock rule. Question is whether they bring a third one into the house. Again, up 6-1, I'd just throw another one in the house. But they actually are indicating a tight guard. What call makes your opponents happy? That's the call. That's the only reason I like coming in. But they're going to throw a tight center. You don't want this one very high. Like watching Kuzmina sweep. I've spoken about it a couple times already, but she just takes full control of no matter which turn they're throwing.
Keeps going both ways.
Yeah.
With a one gripper, one slider style.
Yeah, and this is kind of a new skill for, you know, mixed doubles play. You see a lot of that now with team players being able to swing around to either side. So, but to me, that rock makes Anna Hasselborg happy. You know, down 6-1, great, throw a guard. I'm in. Go for it. So, you know, obviously Sweden needs to make some shots, but by leaving rocks in play, you're giving them a chance.
Well, and this Sweden team did play the qualifying game earlier today, beating Canada at the afternoon off. And we're all in the 90s. Not seeing that so far, but it's a good start.
And that's a great start for Team Sweden.
Obviously tough to regroup and not look at the scoreboard, but you know you got to make your shots and give yourself a chance.
They're extremely well coached, you know, tons of experience, no surprise. So they just know that if they don't start making shots, they're in trouble anyway. But they're happy to have the opportunity to have some guards. I can tell you that right now. So RCF not taking their foot off the gas and just, all right, we'll wait until you make a couple before we change gears. So pretty much 4 shots the way they called it. I have a theory, Luke, that you never guard your opponent's stones. That's one of my pet peeves is when I coach opposition or coach any skip. So, you know, when you start guarding the yellow there at the top of the 8-foot, even though it's third shot, you're going to now see Hasselborg come around, try to move the angles around a little bit like we saw RCF when they scored their big end.
Look at that, 60% for Agnes Knockenauer.
Line's good here. This looks really good. Okay, here we go.
Agnes's low game of the week was their first game at 71%.
Right. So this is down.
Well, a 6-1 game in the 6th end, and so far, as we enter third stones, everything's in play.
Yeah. So who's happy?
Sweden.
Right. Correct.
But Julia Porchnova's got to be happy with a 90% in the first half of this game.
Yeah, like I said, they're going to have to maintain their intensity and not have any errors. The one thing to note here as this rock comes across the hog line, look at this yellow guard on the left-hand side. Just past on the left there now. And the angle of the 2 yellows in the rings and the angle here. So there's a chance to either run it in and potentially do some damage. But it's getting late in the end now, and I think Sweden's going to need to start to figure out a way to try to move those 2 reds in the 4-foot. Also low numbers here
Yeah.
for Sarah McManus as well, Luke.
Yeah, 70%. She did have a 70% game in the round robin. They'll try and get by the front. And they'll just touch the guard. Lose their shooter because of it.
Feather the guard, but actually worked out okay in the sense that both yellows in the rings are unhittable. So watch the, just papers the top one. Top yellow ends up behind the center guard. The back yellow springs over behind the corner guard. And the other red is a little bit accessible, so Hasselborg's going to need to do something spectacular. You know, may have to end up running one of those guards in, but they can certainly still do a bit of damage. Sarah's going to have to make a very good shot on her next one, though, in order to not risk giving up another steal here.
Наверх не перекрыть.
У нее тут стоит удар еще вот от этого.
Я его вижу.
Я понимаю, что ты его видишь.
Что ты предложил? Что ты спросила?
How's your
Я
Russian?
говорю, у нее здесь стоит удар еще
Rusty.
от этого. Ну, то есть она может
That's
хорошо
his,
как-нибудь пробить.
It's better than mine. Rusty would be better than my Russian, so I'm not.
Может, взять тайм-аут?
They're considering the freeze on the left, I believe, or they're considering throwing the guard on the right.
Как сейчас, если...
Problem is, you know,
Он нам
Sweden's got
ничего
2
не
ways
отрежет.
into those
Если
2 stones
вести
on the
фриз,
button.
то надо сюда, чтобы он отрезал вот эти два камня.
Нравится середину оставлять тогда. Хотите тайм-аут возьму?
It is RCF 1, 2, 3, so that's
They
the
are. They're going to call a timeout. This is, you know, how did we get into this mess? 3 of our rocks behind the tee line, 2 yellows buried, and a bit of work to do.
Если вести сын,
Можно пробовать.
сказать.
Мне, если честно, кажется, что сейчас такой случай, когда надо вести туда 4 до, и как бы, ну,
Можно
не вести
попробовать.
нельзя как будто.
С сыном.
Можно пробовать доставать, но... нам...
Или мы не пройдем?
Не, нельзя.
Мне кажется, что...
So Sergei Belanov will come out to chip in here. His
Ну,
His
как
opinion?
вариант, но тот
Она
желтый
уже за
всё равно
центром
ближе.
забегать
Девчонки,
не будет
девчонки, ну
рисковать.
отрезать особо и бессмысленно. У нас вот этот отрезает его.
Они стоят по
Он
тройной.
удар стоит там.
Да.
С сыном
Мне
играет?
нравится в пятак вообще.
what's coming from Sweden is either an in-turn freeze or an out-turn draw. That's
Мне не
what they
особо
should know,
нравится вот
right?
здесь,
That's the
потому что
part
у
of
нас
the
здесь
part of the
очень
shot
маленький
right
диапазон
now. What they need
ошибки.
to
Если вести,
Нет,
то
вот
я
deal
не
with.
знаю, куда.
Смотри, чтобы перекрыть вот эти тройники и все, вот гард сюда неплохо, но она полезет с той стороны в пятак сразу. Тогда посмотрите, что, как ее придет, и тогда идите сверху вторым.
Ну, кстати, мне нравится
Да.
как вариант гард
Вот, то есть,
поставить.
вот здесь поставить гард, чтобы ни тройника, ничего не было,
да,
да? Она
закрыть
полезет
этот
с той
удар, которого
стороны,
мы
и вы
боимся.
вслед за ней следующим тоже полезете. Вот такой вариант
Это будет
давайте.
довольно безопасно.
Гарту можно немножко попробовать пониже перекрыть этот.
Неважно. Главное
Через
закрыть
этот,
линию,
мне
чтобы вот
кажется,
все не торчали. Давайте, девушки.
Этот твой
что,
первый, да, Юль?
Юлькин,
Второй,
да,
я привозила уже.
So do we guard on the left side or do we guard on the right side?
I would guard the left side just because they played it a bit more and they know what's going to happen, right? So they played the shot on the right as we're looking at it now
Ну да.
into that port.
Да, да, в любом случае сына вести.
But you know the draw on the other side is the one that can get shot stone more easily.
Куда нам именно надо по линии поставить?
But they're going to guard the left side for now.
Но нам надо
You know,
красный
the
закрыть.
coach is
Вот
saying they're
это.
going
Этот
to.
закрыть.
Угол, да.
Hasselborg has to play the in-turn freeze. And if they make it nicely, your stones are vulnerable at that point. So, you know, this is
Немного
as much as you're lying 3 and you're ahead in the game,
Можно не довалить, перевалить
you know Hasselborg's going to go all out to count a big end here. So you just have to be precise with your guard placement. I think you'd like this right on the COM, that LGT or COM logo.
Take away that run back also.
Take
right?
away the run back also, exactly.
25, 5-6. Катя всегда. 5-6. Воу, легче, воу. Шестой. Воу. Пятый. Воу. Нет, Катя всегда первая. Можно подвалить, он совсем не валит. Пятый,
Ничего,
высокий.
ничего, девочки,
Него
отлично
заходит,
играете.
Да. Давай. Давай.
Pretty good.
Молодец. Хорош.
Yeah, makes that run back.
Спасибо.
It's trickier.
Have to be a different way.
Right, but here comes the in-turn freeze, right? I mean,
Jag tar timern om du vill då.
you have to know this is coming from
Anna, du
Hasselborg.
skickar den, Sara.
Jag var inne på den, ja, men...
Jag gillar time.
Ja.
So now Sweden will take their timeout. in the sixth end.
Alltså, jag gillar
The other
om vi
shot they
lägger
could
den
play is the
där.
double run back. We'll see what Wayne Madassa says. They go red, red, yellow.
She's already played her hand. She's just going to guard.
Yeah,
Right?
and then we can run that.
But you got to get all three of them, right?
Yeah,
I almost think if you play this now,
yeah,
okay, you can dead stick it, or it can even go like that.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
so
we
the
guard it in. Yeah.
triple
The
run,
triple.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So it's
I
just a
like that.
shade high, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of good ways. Like you can dead stick it right
you can
there, or it can
That
roll
or
that
dead
way.
stick it. Yeah, I really like it that too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we got a
Yeah, she
another
guarded
guard
that
there
for us.
now.
Yeah,
so we
let's
have
make it
lots
like that.
Okay, that's
Nej, men
the best way because she's going to
rullar
just hit
ut och så.
something and give you probably a cheesy two if we can get something back in there.
The cheesy two is always good. You know, Wayne Badaw's point, go red, red, yellow up the middle. And it goes back to that, what I was saying, guarding your opponent's stones is never really works out. The problem, of course, for Sweden, we're saying a triple run back double
Make
is an
it sound
easy
very
shot.
easy.
Yeah, no, this is a very difficult shot, but you got the right person throwing it, you got the right person calling the broom, and you got two awesome sweepers, so they'll be close.
They have a chance. They got stuff set up. They need to execute. Last of third stones for Sarah McManus.
Nära. Nej. Oh.
He's curl.
Opens up that center line, moves that yellow.
It's my rock. It's my rock.
A little discussion of who's to sweep behind the tee line.
Okej, sådär.
That's fair.
Could have been some frustration in that as well.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's the semifinals. You're down 6-1. No one's going to worry too much about
Yeah.
that. But no offense, and
It's my rock. It's my rock.
the one thing I would say to that, and that's happened quite a few times over the years, where you know the opponent wants it to go out. So if you're going to get in there and start sweeping, get in there and start sweeping. You know, you can't be there and kind of dusting it and not moving it back. So no one was in the fault there. Just as you said, heightened level of intensity right now for Team
Well.
Sweden, certainly.
And in this semifinal, you know what's on the line. The teams know it.
Absolutely.
It's every little bit counts. You see those three counting right now for RCF, but the two on the back of this button are open.
Well, listen, what's going to happen now? They're going to play the freeze. Anna's going to play the hit and roll towards the other side of the sheet, and it's going to be buried, and Kovaleva is going to have a freeze on her last. So, you know, still a great chance for two here for Sweden. That was a good shot from Sarah. Open things up and gives their team a chance to score more than one.
Катя первая, Катя, свип.
As Wayne said, a lot of good things can happen, and that was one of them.
Trying to get this in there, out count a couple, and
Oh, that's a mistake.
doesn't
Didn't-
out count those two
No,
yellows.
that's a mistake.
Почему?
So the key here for Hasselborg is actually to make the double. You see the frustration there. If Hasselborg can roll over to the right and nudge that red that's there out to the ones on the left count,
Ja, den är riktigt nice.
she'll probably leave the middle one, but those three yellows all of a sudden will be in play.
Det måste vi tycka.
That back red is on the right is gone, so she has the only way in there is to roll in there.
Det ligger andra, tredje.
Ja.
Andra, tredje, fjärde.
Tänker du en clearing?
Ja, jag tänker att jag får en PT tillbaka då med en massa...
Är det lite mindre?
Känns som att vi lär låta de här vara.
Huge shot here. If Anna can make the
Clearing.
roll and knock the red that's buried out of play, Kovalev is going to have to make a very good shot here to not risk giving up a huge
Kan du
end.
bara ta bort sopen en gång? Ja.
Just need to hit it just right of
Och vi var
center
lite
and
mindre. Det är nästan... jag
nudge
ska
the
vara
wide red
lite
about
high
6
on toppen
inches.
egentligen.
Gillar det.
or less.
Är det mindre eller?
Tror det är ganska
Well,
close.
RCF has played into Sweden's hands in this end, and Sweden has made some shots. First time really in this game, as you see. Hasselborg at 60%, but make two, they got a chance. Now kick that red out, and look at that, second, third, and fourth.
Rally.
Härligt.
So right now, you know, the natural call is to watch the shooter here as it comes over. The natural call is you watch where the yellow stops, is to maybe play a freeze there. But if you get the angle just wrong, you're going to leave a double for 4. I'd be really tempted to tap the red that was just thrown on the left-hand side up 2 or 3 inches and give them 2. But they are not playing that. They're going to come right into the top of the 4-foot. And this is, if you make the shot, you're only giving up 1. But man, if you get the wrong angle just wrong, you're going to leave a double for 4.
Не очень, но я не могу придумать, что
So
еще.
how did this happen? What happened?
Well,
Because
look how many stones are in play.
it happened because you threw a lot of rocks out front. Right, exactly. Kovaleva needs 1. Even if she gets it buried,
Девчонкам
you know,
нравится пробить. Как хотите.
Смотря как ты знаешь счет.
Just not even a handful.
they're coming down to have another look at this.
Maybe looking at that tap.
В принципе, в
We
3.
see how important it was to get that last draw into the 8-foot, right? That's really the mistake that caused the problems here, isn't it? She's looking at hitting this red on the center line side and rolling her shooter in right now.
Контакт делаем, то да.
Не хочешь
Look at this
прям
call, Luke. Wow.
Нет, мне кажется, это сложно. Мне нравится на 10.
Holy mackerel.
Давай.
Просто делать не давал.
Просто есть вариант вот в верхней
Чуть-чуть
A
побольше.
lot of it comes down to how you solve your problems, right? You know, you got two excellent hitting teams. So this is a shot where they want their shooter to roll over, take out the yellow that was just thrown by Hasselborg, and the one they hit angle into the 2 there behind the corner guard. Potentially lie 2 or 3, but
Чуть-чуть побольше, Юлька.
Hey.
Не очень, Валь.
High degree of difficulty on this.
and I again not sure what weight she's throwing, but we'll find out in a second. But massive shot here.
The 6th end of semifinal number 2.
Нет, никогда поднять.
It's wide,
9. Поднять.
really wide.
Попадаем? Нет, поднять.
Really
Вообще
wide.
нет. Вообще
Trying to
нет.
catch some of that
Вообще
red.
нет.
Вот этот смотри.
Catch it thin over the top. It will take their own out, glance up,
Окей.
and a chance at 3.
Well, Sweden's back in this thing.
A 5-point lead. Appearing to just 2 if
Да.
can make the draw. It's a matter of which path you play to get there.
То есть можно
Чуть-чуть
было
бы еще
потерять,
довалил.
чтобы мы вот туда
Да.
пошли.
Два спонтанного
Yeah,
удара.
a missed sweep on Kovaleva's first really caused
Spela kant 8 då.
a multiple point here, but this had to curl quite a bit. They were actually fortunate to not hit that thinner and give up 4 here.
Yeah, for a while it was looking like it might even flash that stone. So it is Sweden line 2. Broom goes down to draw the 8-foot or better to get a 3rd point.
They've got backing there. They can go right to that back red as well. So
We'll see if this shifts the game, the momentum in Sweden's favor.
oh boy,
Need
All
this
4.
one.
Ni håller den rak, ni håller den rak.
Well, the team sweep got to get this one to the 8-foot.
Så var den, Agnes. Agnes.
Knockenhauer, Malbergs, Hasselborg, and McManus with the sweep to the 8-foot for the triple, and a much-needed triple for Sweden. They cut into that deficit, 6-4. 4 ends remaining, but just a 2-point difference.
Jättebra.
Alltså den där kom, hennes sista sten, den kom upp i...
Происходит